Oh, yeah! What the fuck? I'm calling both games.
And we're doing well. What is life? What is actually happening right now? I'm just riding this wave.
I mean, you played the Colts though. So.
Yeah, it's time.
And we play the
time
Texans
to feel
this
good.
week, so.
Yeah, that's an auto win right there. I forgot to mention, Tom is not here. He had to attend a funeral. There was a loss in his family, so prayers up for Tom and his family. He did get the Jackson DeVille outfit, but he's not here, so we're gonna have to wait a week on that.
Instead of like $50 minimum, I think we should each have to spend $1,000.
$1,000.
$1,000. Then
I'm getting you a one-on-one therapy session with Russell Wilson then.
Ooh, I could fix him.
No, he's gonna fix you.
$1,000?
You're gonna be high-kneed to death.
What would I buy Tree for $1,000? I'd buy him $1,000 gift card to the dollar store and just see if he could buy 1,000 items.
Can
from
you
that
spend
place.
this all at the dollar store?
Spicy. All right, let's get into these trades.
No, Alexander. We punished Adam or Scooter or Tree.
No,
guys.
it's not worse than very
now
bad.
it's covering Trees.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? Keep it there because no one needs to see my face.
That's fine. You're an all right looking dude.
I don't know about that, dude. The glass breaks every time I look in the mirror. It's not good.
I tried to grab every
Self-deprecation.
guy I thought we might be considering in here. There's a couple maybe that we won't, but yeah, we've got a good baseline here. Everybody on Twitter every day tells me that the Russell Wilson trade is the worst trade ever. And I say, I still think the Deshaun Watson trade is worse because my quarterback was not accused of crimes against women.
I don't think that's an awful trade because Brown was never going to be productive for the Raiders. Like he was already checked out.
Oh, I disagree.
He had $30 million guaranteed. Like he was going to do it and he just went off the rails.
They traded a third and a fifth for him.
Yeah, Pittsburgh had to pay the cancer tax.
But they should have known better to me. Like,
they had to cut it. I mean, they
said
cut
Buffalo.
him.
He was going to get traded to Buffalo, but AB didn't want to go there.
I don't
Just
blame
based
him.
off the compensation and what I know is coming down the line, it can't be. I think it's very bad.
John Elway. I mean, this is the Indianapolis Colts traded away a Hall of Fame quarterback, but
Colts
why
were
did
never
they
going to
do it?
play. He was never going to play for Baltimore.
He refused to play for the Colts. Let me see. What did they?
I think they got like a lineman, right?
They got a couple linemen. They got traded for a future first-round pick, Chris Hinton and Mark Herman.
There you go, Mark Herman. Yep.
They were like solid pros. I remember this. I remember.
This can't be the worst ever, only because what do you do when someone says I'm not going to play for you? You know,
the first-round pick was Ron Solt.
They send him to the Green Bay Packers for the number 19 overall pick in the first round of '92, where the Falcons took running back Tony Smith.
Now,
I don't know.
Are we basing this off who they took and got in exchange, or who was available and they just didn't happen to draft that person? You see what I'm saying here?
I say it's like a combination, right? Like you have to see what you got for your investment, right? You got rid of Brett Favre. Was the return on the investment there? Because you can argue for the Colts in the Elway trade, they got some return, but the Falcons got nothing. Is that John Gruden?
Yep.
That's a
John
trade
Gruden to the Buccaneers.
What did they give up?
I think they gave up a first-round pick
for a coach.
Yeah.
See, here's my theory.
They gave up a first?
Here's my theory.
I just saw the comp today and I can't remember it.
It was traded for a 2002 and 2003 first-round picks, 2002 and 2004 second-round picks, and $8 million.
The Raiders were close to going to the Super Bowl, that they get rid of John Gruden, and then they get to the Super Bowl, they got to face John Gruden, and John Gruden knows exactly everything that offense does, and they were able to just decimate them. So as a Broncos fan, that Super Bowl was really fun to watch.
That was a shellacking,
Yeah.
by the way.
We see what is
Ooh.
up next.
We got Herschel Walker.
Wow.
And this
I think-
trade is considered by many the worst trade of all
Best
time
trade
for the
of all
Vikings.
time. Put this up at worst ever. I don't think there needs to be a debate on this one. Like,
I think we should put him up here at worst ever, and
Who are
then
we
we can bring
debating?
in some contenders to see if
Okay.
anything
Okay.
can come close.
so, Cowboys, which is all I care about. This is who we got. Jesse Solomon, linebacker. David Howard, linebacker. Isaac Holt, cornerback. Defensive end, Alex Stewart. Okay, you might not have heard about those people. Here's also what we got, though. Minnesota's first in 1990. Their second in 1990. Their sixth in 1990. Their first in 91. Second in 91. First in 92. Second in 92.
You're
Third
still
in
reading?
Yep, it was a lot of them was conditioned on players getting cut or traded.
Yep.
Didn't
But
y'all
that's
take all these
all-
picks and turn them into like
Emmett
Troy
Smith.
Aikman?
Yeah, Emmett Smith,
Russell
Darren
Maryland,
Woodson,
Russell Maryland.
Listen to what
Alvin
Did y'all get
Harper.
Larry Allen from this?
to
No,
win
not Larry Allen.
Oh.
They,
this is literally the catalyst for us winning all of
Yeah.
these Super Bowls in the 90s. It was this trade.
Now we're getting into some juicy ones here. We've got DeAndre Hopkins.
Okay, look.
Bill O'Brien.
Listen, for me, this one is my worst ever because, first of all, they just traded a top 3 receiver
worst
for
ever.
literally nothing.
Ever? Is that a Seahawks?
This is Steve Largent.
Ooh,
Steve Largent.
this is an obscure one. A little
Yeah.
more obscure. What did they
Uh,
get for Steve Largent?
Let's see here.
Congressman Steve Largent.
Houston, let's see here, traded for an 8th round pick in 1997. So Largent was selected in the 4th round by the Oilers, and they traded him before they even got to week 1. You don't know
That
who
Randy
Randy
Moss?
Moss is?
It was a disaster.
What was that?
was the
No, I know
06
who it
year,
is. I
right?
just don't remember the trade. Was this the trade to the Patriots?
Yes.
Oh boy.
Well, if I remember correctly, this was 06. Randy Moss had a terrible, terrible year with the Raiders. They had Art Shell as their coach. He was getting thrown ducks by Andrew Walter, if I remember correctly. And
Yeah.
It was just an absolute train wreck, and there was a lot of issues with him, and he had demanded out immediately because he wasn't going to thrive there. So it was a bad trade, but it was set up to fail regardless.
Yeah.
All right. Well, this
Pretty-
this next one is also going to be a worst runner-up, and it is the draft day. Mike Ditka, Ricky Williams, give my entire draft away for a running back trade.
Look at what the Redskins, formerly known as the Redskins, look at what they got. Champ Bailey,
Okay. All
LeVar
right. That's the one.
Arrington,
Boom,
Derek
boom.
Smith,
I don't remember this.
Well, Champ Bailey, I think they traded up to get him.
Lloyd
Oh
Harrison.
no. You're right.
The Bears
right.
got Cade McNown, Dwayne Bates, Warwick Holdman, Kari Samuel, and Dustin Lyman. The Broncos got Desmond Clark and Billy Miller. Take it away, Brandon. What are we saying?
Bad.
You know
Just
what? That's
bad?
fair.
You
fair.
need more time to grade it, so
Yeah.
it
Yes,
does need-
thank you.
That's fair.
So give it a couple years, and if that draft pick, say, Seattle trades down, or they get their future quarterback, say it turns into Will Levis or C.J. Stroud, and he becomes really good, then you got a problem.
Mitchell
Cooper Rush?
Trubisky.
That's
That
a
is a
bad
bad trade. That's up there. Worst runner-up. You trade up one position, and for a guy that never really panned out, got ruined in the Chicago system. It was a bad pick at the time, and worse,
What was the
The-
compensation for this?
it was the pick after, which became Solomon Thomas. It didn't become much, and then it was 2/3 and a 4th round pick. One of those picks was Tedrick Thompson, who kind of became like an guy, decent depth. The other two pieces were Alvin Kamara and Fred Warner. So that was a terrible trade.
And finally, like Wilson, this one needs time from a football perspective. But the Cleveland
I'd say
Browns.
It's bad for now. We got to figure out how he plays.
Yeah, like I think it's very bad because
Yeah, we can put him in very bad for now.
Yeah,
Just
I don't think it's one
because
of
like the way people are reacting to your entire fandom right now, plus the compensation you gave up was immense. Joey Galloway, that was a terrible trade, but even worse than that was Roy Williams. I believe we gave up a first and a third. This man was terrible during his whole tenure. He was dropping wide open passes. He was a tall receiver who I was excited to get. And then when we got him, never produced.
I think the Giants trading down for Kadarius Toney, who is now an injured member of the Chiefs, when Micah Parsons was the next player taken off the board. Like Micah Parsons would obviously solve many issues that the Giants have.
I know for the Steelers' sake, they don't really make trades. Like most of the ones I can really think of was a first-round pick for Minka, which has worked out. And then you have Jerome Betts, that trade, which did wonders for the team. Otherwise, I can't really think of a bad trade for Pittsburgh just because they don't really do any. The only one I can really think of that had negative results at the end was trading up to pick Devin Bush.
Josh McDaniels. And he once traded away Jay Cutler for Kyle Orton. And I know Jay Cutler wasn't the greatest QB ever, but he was playing pretty damn good in Denver at the time. Had Brandon Marshall in the receiving game. We get rid of a guy who could have been there a long time.
Carpool karaoke. Let's do it.
Yeah. 2019, 18, 17, 16, 15.
Four.
Your
One
mother
potato,
and your
or
God, we are terrible at
Like
marketing
a
and everything
tail.
that stuff. Please, for the love of God, let Brandon accept the fact that Russell Wilson was a terrible trade. Yet we all thought it was a good deal
Yep,
at the time.
he doesn't want to face reality. I got $121.98. Thank you, everybody. Beast of Metal coming clutch.
I lost. Thank God.
What
How
do you
much
have?
you got?
Trey?
92.91.
Ooh.
Okay.
I got $177.91. So
I
I'm
think we
safe.
know who it is.
Got $310.
Oh,
310.
Congratulations!
I
We sending Scoots to the dollar store?
dollar store.
Dollar
I would
store?
say Scoots would have to buy $300 worth of stuff from the dollar store, but then immediately donate it to like a charity or something.